Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's...
Hey, stop, man. Don't act like that.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Sorry.
Come on, let's act like a grown-up, man. Get it together, you little turd. Okay, Jesus, sorry, no more. Before I go, can you play that "The wind burned her a little bit in the pool" drop?
The wind burned her a little bit in the pool.
Times Siena College poll shows that the economy is still the top issue for voters ahead of the midterm elections. Now just 3 weeks away. Take a look at these numbers. 26% say the economy is number one, followed by inflation at 18%.
Wow.
As the White House claims President Biden has, quote, done the work to halt soaring inflation. Watch this.
Wow.
Who exactly thinks the president is doing a good job on inflation? Because we've got a new poll that finds he receives his lowest job ratings on inflation, net negative 38 points.
Well, look, I think there's two sides to it. There's no question if you are a beneficiary of it, it is a very, very good thing. Having said that, in the context of inflation, I also think that there's no way to look at this and say it is not going to make things harder for the Federal Reserve and for government to try to bring down inflation.
Findings on key issues from that poll that I wanted to quickly get your reaction to. Roughly 65% of voters very concerned about inflation. 65% see it as a bigger problem facing the U.S. actually even than unemployment, COVID, or crime.
Wow.
Because the rent right now, bitch, I don't know, you're going to have to sell your soul or your pussy.
Well, Cardi.
Or you going to have to suck some dick.
Oh, my God.
You're going to sell your...
Wow.
You're going to have to sell some dick, nigga.
Cardi,
You're going to have to sell some dick or some pussy.
That's right. Even Cardinal B is upset about the inflation and concerned about it.
Hey.
Let's hear what the brilliant mind of economist? ? Oh, no, scammer Dave Ramsey has to say about it. Here we go.
I hear that there's always two sides to each budgeting equation, the income side and the outgo side.
Oh, wow.
I also know that they're no longer paying people $10 an hour to put the bread on the shelves. They're now paying them $20 to $30 an hour to put the bread on, which is why the cost of bread went up, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't wheat.
And it wasn't a shortage. No, it's the cost of labor.
So that's why your loaf of bread went up. That's why Sharon bought some bologna the other day. And
So is Coach Ding Dong... So is Coach Dave Ramsey correct about this? Because this is what we've been hearing in the media, okay? I looked at a whole bunch of MSNBC, CNN, and they're all kind of saying stuff like this. Oh, well, labor costs more. People, these people are greedy, man.
People are greedy, bro.
This is what people are saying. This is what people are saying is the most important issue by far. More, what did that guy say? More important than COVID or unemployment or whatever? Inflation. It's by far the most important crap.
According to this chart, what is the biggest driver of inflation during the pandemic? The blue is the dark blue is the recent period.
Okay.
It would be corporate profits.
And what is that percentage?
It is 54%, and that number does stay that level of high if you update that number to more recent numbers as well.
Whoa.
So over half of the increased prices people are paying are coming from increases in corporate profits.
Yes, the unit price index is reflected in corporate profits opposed to other costs.
And how does that compare to
There's really only one way to describe that.
The wind burned her a little bit in the pool.
historically to other periods of inflation or over other periods of economic time?
As reflected there and in other analysis, it is significantly higher in this recovery, 11.5%.
And what is it today?
53%.
Whoa! Wait, I don't get it. I'm confused. So this economist guy says to a congressperson that it's 54% of the inflation is caused by corporate profits. But Dave Ramsey says it's because of these greedy bastards who work in supermarkets. He's an economist too. So what's that? Oh, he's a random idiot? Oh, okay. Maybe we can find somebody who really knows what they're talking about.
One of the weird things about Joe Biden's presidency is that he was nominated based on the fact that he was not Bernie Sanders.
Wow.
And that he was not Elizabeth Warren. And then once he became president, he decided to pursue exactly the same policies that Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren would have pursued. And so
I'm gonna need a receipt on that one. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this universal healthcare now too, by the way. Shut up.
Understand what's happening right now. You sort of have to understand what Bernie and Elizabeth Warren were saying way back in the day, meaning like 2019, 2020. So I want to take you in the time machine back to June 12th, 2019, when Bernie Sanders gave a big speech about democratic socialism, and the crowd goes wild. Well, the question, of course, is how you pay for all of these magical rights. Well, first of all, you have to force people to do things they don't want to do, because if you have a right to a service from someone else, they now have a duty to provide you that service. So that is problem number one.
I didn't know that.
From a fiscal point of view, the answer is somebody has to pay for it. So you're either going to have to radically raise taxes, which is something that Bernie Sanders has indeed proposed, or you're going to have to print an enormous amount of money.
Okay, this makes sense.
It's because socialism. That's what happened, right?
It's because socialism. So let me think about this. Hold on. So 54% of the inflation is due to corporate profits, and we've been seeing over the past couple of years, corporate profits are like record highs because we're doing too much socialism. Okay, makes sense to me. Yeah.
Well, inflation continues to be in focus from. Yeah, thanks for having me. So, my organization, the Groundwork Collaborative, has combed through hundreds and hundreds of earnings calls. And this is where CEOs are obviously telling their investors what they're seeing in terms of, their financial situations. And what we see is across sectors, across companies, CEOs are just crowing about how they can raise prices on consumers, all while bringing in record profits.
Whoa.
And that's really the root of a lot of the price increases that we've been seeing over recent periods.
God damn it.
Now my ass is just totally confused.
Now I'm what can only be described as beyond confused. Because a guy that I trust, Benny Chapin, oh, it's me, that guy, he said this was because socialism, that's why prices are going up. But then this lady says, hey, well, I've been listening to these actual meetings, and the people who actually run the companies are telling the shareholders of the companies, hey, we can raise prices and then say it's because inflation. By the way, we're making record profits also. And most of this kind of stuff has very little views, but then you watch like MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, they're all like, inflation is because of the fact that people are all rich now. The other one is that everybody got money during the pandemic. What we should have done to avoid inflation, they say, is let people starve and let their kids starve. So yeah, I'm just super torn on this because we got a guy who sounds like this, hey, it's me, saying that it's socialism, but then the actual people who are actually doing this are admitting to doing this in meetings to their shareholders. I just don't know who to believe. I don't know who to believe. It's impossible.
And in terms of how we can see nefarious intent, don't take my word for it. We have hundreds of earnings calls that show exactly that. So let's take what might be a typical day, right? You wake up, you want a cup of coffee. I know I did this morning. You head to Starbucks. Starbucks has raised prices across the board. They've also seen their profits go up about 30%. Maybe for lunch, you want to get Chipotle. Chipotle's CEO has really been talking on their earnings calls about how they're so lucky that their consumers are not reacting to the price increases. And they see that their ability to raise prices is a real strength for the business.
One other thing, man, is that we've known this forever. We've known, these guys, Ben Shapiro and that other dum-dum, they've had time because we've known this for, when was this? Oh, this was uploaded on February 15th, 2022. So, no, we've had this information,
They're celebrating their ability to raise prices to provide, we're seeing 70-year record highs in corporate profit margins, provide huge payouts to their shareholders. It's not wage increases that are holding them back. And they're saying, look, inflation is giving us cover to do this, to sort of gild the lily a little bit, right? To go back in for another spoonful. And the last thing I'll say is it's not just the earnings calls, which I think are a really rich data set, but quantitative data also backs this up. So there's recent research from the Economic Policy Institute that found that as of Q1 of 2022, corporate profits are a much, much bigger chunk of the recent rise in prices than wages or input costs, right?
Oof.
So about 54% of the price increases are due to corporate profits. Input costs comprise about 38% and wages comprise less than 8%.
Whoa, that's it?
This is a complicated
8%?
story, but workers are certainly not to blame, and neither are the down payment and investments that we started to make in the area.
Yeah, so I'm not even trying to sound clever or interesting or whatever, but I watched a whole bunch of videos about inflation from like MSNBC and CNN and of course Fox News. Forget Fox News because they're not even going to get anywhere near this, but most of the mainstream news channels, you don't hear this side of the story at all. So that's a little troubling. That's a little disturbing. The other funny thing about this is when they poll people about what do you think is, what can we do to fix inflation? The answers are all over the place. I'll read this. This is from Gallup. So a CNBC poll conducted in April found that 69% of people think that COVID is a major cause. That's 69%. Okay, that's kind of right. Listen to this. Corporations taking advantage of the situation to raise prices. 66%. Okay, so it's like they kind of get it. Invasion of Ukraine, 55%, and slightly less than half said Joe Biden's policies were a major cause, 49%. Then Harvard did a poll where 62% of Americans say continued federal spending on COVID will lead to increased inflation. Okay, so then an NBC poll says that 69% of Americans would be more likely to vote for a candidate who wants to control inflation by reducing the deficit, and that 64% would be more, so here we go, 64% would be more likely to vote for a candidate who wants to control inflation by taxing large corporations. Oh, God. They kind of got it in one, but then this other poll, they're like, it's the government. It looks like exactly what you would get from people if the media about this stuff was confusing.
The government was able to spend cash it didn't have because it got huge loans from the Fed.
They're printing money to spend it, printing money to hand it out, printing money to make transfer payments. That's exactly what our government did in the last 2 years of pandemic. It's technically not printing money, but from an economic point of view, the same as printing it money and handing it out, and it causes inflation. So that is both monetary and fiscal policy.
Wow.
The next time there's a handout, don't be so easy to take it. Just bear in mind what got us here, and that was overly intrusive and aggressive fiscal policy that was monetized by the Federal Reserve.
Good Lord. I mean, yeah, this is the media. CNBC, this has almost 1 million views. And yeah, this is kind of what they're like, oh, we gave people money to not starve during a pandemic and should have done that. You shouldn't have taken that money. That's what the problem. That is absolute madness. This channel should be taken down. CNBC, NBC, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to upload videos anymore for this. Because while they were uploading this and before they uploaded this, these people who run these businesses were saying, we have cover now to raise prices because of supply chain stuff, COVID. We have cover to raise prices. And now that's the majority of why prices are raising. And they're like, well, it's because you took that it's because you took that check when you lost your job because of a global pandemic. I call on both of those people from this video to quit their jobs, walk into the woods, okay? Just keep walking and then yell, sorry! Hey, dude, but don't worry, CNBC got some good news here. Here we go.
Noting inflation is affecting all sectors and no one is immune. Though there are still value deals, like the $1, $2, $3 menu. Meanwhile, some fast food rewards.
I could get a McDouble. I get the hash browns. I'm going to guess the McGriddles, that's the 3. Hash browns 1. Maybe sausage biscuit 2. Okay. Thank you. If you ever have some spare time, check out the comments section on some of these CNBC videos. Here we go. Check this one out. The workers want to get paid $15 an hour for an unskilled job. What did people expect companies were going to do? Lower prices? Those pay increases are being directly transferred to the customers. I love that. That person's just like, those people should basically die to keep prices low. Again, I would love to see that person, whoever typed that, just work one shift at a fast food place. They'll be like, okay, 15, 20. This guy says, I just got a Happy Meal with Halloween bucket for about $3.50. And he wrote out $3.50. But long story short here, if you look at any comments on pretty much any video about inflation, people have no idea what's going on. They are completely confused and in the dark because of that's right, stupid media. All right, let's take a look at my favorite newsman. This is the newsman that I get all my news from. His name is Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino. He's got, he does a lot of segments where he repeats things about inflation on Fox News. Look at Listen to the intro of this video. This is great. This guy truly is the best. Check this out.
Folks, listen, you ever see these Marvel movies out there? You know, Hulk, Spider-Man, all that stuff. They have this weird thing where there's these alternate universes there. Whenever they need to explain something away, like, hey, that's crazy, like the X-Men. How did they not see the attack on New York? Oh, they were in an alternate universe or something. You know, you've seen some of it in Marvel. Remember this? Check this out.
I'm Peter Parker.
That's not possible.
I am Spider-Man in my world.
Now, reality can be whatever I want.
Folks, these actors, they could be in the Biden White House too.
Nice one, Dan. I can't tell if this guy's legitimately funny or just the stupidest man on anything. He's like, hey, you guys seen these Marvel movies? They're always... The example he gives of Marvel characters living in another universe is, hey, oh, that attack on New York happened. I couldn't be there because I was in a different universe. And then the clips he plays for an example of this are Spider-Man. He says, hey, I'm Spider-Man in my world. And then I don't want to look it up. So whatever that guy, Purple Thor, I can't remember his name. Theranos. Then Theranos goes, I can make reality whatever I want. So that's exactly the same as, oh, I couldn't make it to New York City when it was being attacked because of I was in a different universe. This guy truly is like almost too dumb for Fox News. Like he should be pressure salesing somebody at a 24-hour fitness, this guy. You know, you're like, I think I just want to do month to month. He's like, oh, come on, man. You're already basically signed for the year, dude. Come on. It's like, I gotta go. He's like, oh, come on, man. It's kind of funny watching the mainstream news, not Fox News, because you already know what they're going to say. So, you know, but like CNN, MSNBC, and all these channels, it just seems like they know they're kind of not allowed to talk about. We're kind of not allowed to mention this part as much. We're kind of not. We kind of know it's taboo. That's what it is. It's taboo to talk about how companies are raising prices because they want to make more money. They want to make bigger profits. We're not really... That's unpleasant. This is what they say, these news channels. That's unpleasant to talk about. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, as always. Okay? You got a problem with it? Well, that's on you. And kind of on me. But thank you for watching, guys. Hope you're having a good week. It's Wednesday. I'll talk to you guys soon. I hope you're all sniffing. And bye-bye. Hey, guys. You're only getting a fraction of the weekly shows. If you want a new motherfucking episode every day, subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. You get the patron-only Tuesday and Thursday shows, the Bookablega show where we look at important books, and the goddamn weekly behind-the-scenes show. And for only 25 bones, you could become a producer and get your name up here. Look at these people. These people make this show possible. If it wasn't for them, nothing. We don't have a show. We got nothing, and it's garbage. And we have to just leave. We have to just basically walk away, and we don't even really know where we're walking. That's the truly troubling part about all this. But please, become a patron today for as little as 2 bones, or 5 bones is another level, or 10, or you go the full 25 and you get up here. Big special thanks to these people. Love you guys. Love you guys so much.